And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that excited me, that hopefully excites you. In a busy week of toy news this week, a little bit of running the gamut this week, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a sprinkle of the other on this Labor Day weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoys the long weekend. I got a little bit longer week as I am supposed to be. We'll see if that goes down. On vacation next week. I'm going to see Weezer. I'm going to the Blue Album tour. My daughter, huge Weezer fan. I was a big Weezer fan back in the day. I'm still a Weezer fan, but she's a massive Weezer fan, so she's going to get to see Weezer for the first time in concert. We're headed up to that concert this week, so hopefully that's a good time. More on that maybe in the future. We'll see what happens there, but let's dive into the news of the week. But first, let's start with a little bit of housekeeping, as we always do on this Labor Day weekend. Of course, Patreon giveaway. Today, if you're watching this on Saturday, last day to get in on the giveaway. Got the traditional giveaway, Novun Lean, Cosmic Legions. Grab your Cosmic Legions. That is the traditional giveaway. And then anybody that signs up for the Patreon, today is the last day to do it this month. Any of the tiers, you can be entered to win Dr. Britt Baker, of course. So that's your chance for August. Tomorrow, weekly purchases, I'll show the new giveaway for the month of September. So stay tuned to that, of course, there. Also, this weekend, Pro Wrestling Tees. Go over to Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson. Pick up a t-shirt, support the channel. 20% off code this weekend. Labor24 is the 20% off code. So if you're looking for t-shirts of me or Terry Funk, don't forget Terry Funk t-shirts while you're over there. Hit up Labor24 for that. So a lot going on this week with Patreon, and then, of course, Labor Day sales, and a lot of places having Labor Day sales. Look around for all the different sales that are going on. You can get some deals over this Labor Day holiday, of course. But let's dive into the toy news this week. Big news, of course, All Out, the pay-per-view with AEW over there in England. That was last weekend, and they did have a little presence of action figures over there. We did get to see, for I believe the first time in person, the black and white Ringside Collectibles exclusive, Toni Storm. Looking really good, an easy layup of a figure if there ever was one. Of course, we'll also get the color one in the future, I would have to imagine. Easy layup there. Unfortunately, a bad night for Toni Storm. She did not come out the victor on that night, but her figure will be the victor. In a long legacy of, or I should say short legacy of black and white wrestling figures, we all know about the Undertaker Jakks, and of course the Superstar Billy Graham Jakks way back in the day. Now we can add Toni Storm to that list in the future. We also saw a sketch edition Orange Cassidy. Oh, Todd McFarlane, he's like, yeah, wiggling those toes. I could hear those toes flapping in the wind all the way over here. He loves a sketch edition figure, and apparently Jazwares does as well. Orange Cassidy sketch edition. Definitely not for everybody, but something different, something cool. I'm here for that. Should be an interesting looking figure once we get that in hand, but it looks cool from the glamour shots they showed at the All In pay-per-view, or All Out, I guess I should say. We also saw Ringside Collectibles Black Machismo, aka Jay Lethal. Getting our first Jay Lethal figure from Ringside, another exclusive over there. And then, of course, the convention pay-per-view, how about, exclusive Will Ospreay. We did see his figure there. Looks really good with the white soft goods. White soft goods I've never seen stain, so Jazwares, you up for the challenge? Hopefully not, but we should see that one. It sounds like in February, but that Ospreay figure looks really good. Will that be the first Ospreay figure we get, or will we get the original one first from, what was it, Unmatched or Unrivaled? I have to assume we'd see that before, but we'll see what ends up happening there. Hopefully you guys got your Will Ospreay if that was for you over the weekend. Didn't sell out as fast as I thought it was going to, so I don't know what that exactly says. I don't know, you guys up to interpretation right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the clock. Kyle here, of course, back again though, cutting into this video with some late breaking news. Late Friday afternoon, what are we doing, toy companies? First off, it's late Friday afternoon. Let's give it a rest for the week. Let's do it all on Thursday, how about? But it's late Friday afternoon. It's also a holiday weekend here in the United States, Labor Day, of course. But here we are. Toy news never stops. No risk for the wicked, like a young Ozzy Osbourne. That's what we're dealing with here. But our friends over at Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Came out with a bunch of pre-orders here on this Friday afternoon. An expensive day for us wrestling figure collectors. First off, the Ultimate Ring with, of course, Rhea Ripley Ultimate. A lot of people up in arms about this one. We saw it at San Diego Comic-Con for the first time. It is coming out here early next year, so be on the lookout for that. First ever Ultimate Rhea Ripley. You know we're going to get another one in the future, but it does come with a ring. Pre-order up right now. And speaking of rings, I'm very excited because I just sold this out of my collection a couple of months ago. Kind of regretted it. Now I can buy it again. It is the NXT War Games ring. I love that they're bringing that back out with Butch once again. I'll be picking this one up. I believe wasn't this a UK exclusive maybe a year ago or so. Now we're getting some here in America. That'll be great for me. I think I'll pick up this ring. I've never put it together, never had it. I just passed on it, so I just sold mine. I'm going to pick this one up, I do believe. But then we go into the Elite lines here. Elite 113, Carlito, I believe the chase of that one. CM Punk, Trick Williams, Dragon Lee, Kofi Kingston, and first time in the Elite line, Tiffany Stratton right here, part of Elite 13, up for pre-order right now. But not to be outdone, Elite 14, we got Ilya Dragunov returning to the line, Tommaso Ciampa, and Braun Breaker. Those three have had many matches together. We got the Usos, Uso Crazy on a Labor Day weekend. We got them coming in there. And then we got Zoe Stark, first time in the line. We saw that at San Diego Comic-Con for the first time as well. Never forget, never forget. So we got those coming. We also got WrestleMania 41 Elites up for pre-order. And I believe, isn't this the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure? And it felt like we just got that one, but we didn't. It was a long time ago, so I guess it is warranted for those that missed out on it. We do got Seth Rollins. We got Bianca Belair, Bret Hitman Hart, and no stranger to the collections, Hulk Hogan back again. WrestleMania 41 Elites pre-order up right now. Moving on to the main events. Man, I'm getting more and more main event figures. We got Rhea Ripley. We got Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes, never met a set he didn't like. My boy Duke Hudson from Chase U, representing all day long. And Mr. Perfect, part of main event 153. So another heavy hitter set there for main events. And then we carry on to main event 152. I guess going back a week or back a set is what we're doing. We got Seth Rollins, we got Ricky the Dragon and the Steamboat. We saw him at San Diego Comic-Con. Liv Morgan, Batista, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So another heavy hitter set right there in main event 152. Then we go to main event showdown, the former Battle Pack 2-packs. We got Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Happier times in Judgment Day? Maybe. We do got The Miz and Gunther, and we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. A very interesting 2-pack there. Going to be interested to see how that one ends up looking. I'm here for that, though. We'll see. We'll see. But we're not to be outdone. Of course, Universal Monsters from NECA, near and dear to my heart, near and dear to my dad's heart. And Dad, you're watching. You got to come over and do this review with me. You know you want to. The Invisible Man is returning, and when I unboxed with my dad, check out the video on the channel, we unboxed the Jada Toys Invisible Man, and I think my dad did, but I certainly did like the appearance and the look of that Invisible Man over the NECA one. Well, NECA heard us loud and clear. They're giving us the one we got from Jada Toys, but in the NECA Universal Monsters. Definitely here for that. Looks very, very nice. I love that Hugh Hefner smoker's robe going on. Very, very cool looking figure. Can't wait to unbox that on the channel. And hopefully I can get my dad back for that. We'll see. We'll see if their retirement can take a pause or he can come out of retirement. People do it all the time. Come on, Dad. Let's get back on the channel. But that's some late breaking Friday afternoon toy news. And then the final bit of AEW Jazwares news this week, and my heart sank for a second, but they are still coming out with the Sting. It seems to be. The Blade Runner Sting will still be the Chase Rare Edition. However, they did change the paint and the outfit on Sting from the red and yellow to the white and blue. So they've mixed and matched. Not exactly sure the reason for the change. We're still getting a Surfer Sting. We're just getting a little different color scheme. I think I actually prefer the one they're going to with the blue and white. Something about that one looks very, very cool. I think it's from an old Starcade, if I'm not mistaken. But Sting's still coming. Blade Runners, Mattel, you're on the clock. Get us the Blade Runners Warrior. Not same companies, but let's get some unification between the two. Release the Warrior version from Mattel. Jazwares, you guys release the Sting version. And all will be right in the world. That's what'll happen right there. So, more to come if that ever does happen. Oh my gosh, whoa, 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 stop the clock again. It's getting old at this point. Ringside, just when I thought I was done. Just ready to put my feet up for the weekend. No, they bring me back once again with a little bit of controversy. Once again, controversy reigning supreme here. From the vault, the next round from the vault, we got the Ultimate Warrior looking like WrestleMania 6. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. We got Bray Wyatt. We got Razor Ramon, the former Defining Moments. And then the most controversial one of all for the Vault series, Cody Rhodes Bruised Pec Edition. We just literally got that less than a year ago in the Defining Moments line. I am not a big fan of the inclusion of that. And I've said it before numerous times on the channel over the last 6 months. Mattel, NECA, Hasbro, whatever it is, they want every dollar out of your wallet. Yes, they do. They're going to re-release stuff like this, and it's going to be continuing. I wouldn't be shocked to see it even ramp up because Mattel's been doing it so long. They got a lot of key looks on a lot of key performers. They want to get those back out there to everybody. They love your collection. They love that you're spending money, but they don't care about your collection that much. They care about that money, and that's what they're doing with this Cody. There was a big demand. There's still a demand for it. They see that demand. They're coming back out with it. Personally, just run more of the Defining Moments is what I would like to see. Not in the cards here. Hopefully there's enough meat on the bone to make this Cody feel different than the Defining Moments. Hopefully it's not just a Defining Moments in the vault packaging. We'll see what happens. But being as soon and quick as turnaround as it is, not exactly sure. Mania 6 Warrior could be a really good one, especially if it looks like this. No face paint. I'd be here for that all day long. Who are we fooling? I'm here for this one all day long, either way it goes. But I would love to see something different with the Warrior, of course. Bray Wyatt could have been any of the looks. Of course, we had so many Bray Wyatts. Wouldn't be shocked to get a lot of greatest hits, vaults, legends in the future, releases from him. And then we already talked about Razor Ramon. So very interesting from the vault set from Ringside. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. Get your pre-order in right now. Get more to come. Matt Cardona, yes, of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, returned to the ring from his pec injury. Wasn't his pec? Bicep? Pec? Bicep? Choose your own adventure on Matt Cardona injuries. He did come back at GCW Homecoming last week in a Jurassic Park inspired wrestling gear, and Super 7, minute that happened, came up with a pre-order on Sunday for a Jurassic Park version of Matt Cardona. So head over to Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Links in the description down below as usual. But we got a Matt Cardona repaint coming to Super 7. Apparently towards the end of the year, early next year with this one. So a fairly quick turnaround, which I'm here for that, of course. And moving on, wrestling. Going over to the retro style figures. I believe today might be the last day to order the Los Conquistadors from KWK. So if you're after that, head over there. A lot of good stuff from the KWK brand in the retro game. Grapplers and Gimmicks also getting after some stuff. And it was originally released by The Godfather. I don't know if he tipped Hastel Toys' hands or what happened right there. But we are getting a version of Kama and The Godfather, or I should say Kama and Papa Shango, getting my gimmicks mixed up. Kama and Papa Shango coming to the retro line to join up with the old smoke train of old. Both look pretty good. That Papa Shango, I think I might, obviously you got nostalgia for the Hasbro, but that one is even a better playability version than the Hasbro one. So those will look very interesting when they come out, but we got more Godfather representations of his gimmicks coming from the Grapplers and Gimmicks line. We also saw a tease of Rhino, of course, ECW, TNA, WWE. He's been all over the place. A legend if there ever was one. We're going to be able to hit the gores in our own fig fed in the retro style with an upcoming Rhino figure. So that was pretty cool. But then the biggest controversy this week, dare I say conspiracy? Oh, Mark Summers from the couch says, don't do it. No Jesse. Well, there is a little Jesse conspiracy. I was planning on next week going up to the Mall of America to meet up with Jesse Ventura. He was doing an autograph signing. He'd probably just say, oh, Kyle, my old friend, come to the front of the line. That's probably what would happen. Don't you think, Mark? Oh, yeah, Mark agrees. Todd doesn't. Todd, I sense jealousy. I sense jealousy from the couch about my love for Jesse. Jesse will always be first in my heart. You're a strong number 2, though, Todd. Blow you the kiss right over there. Looked like it hit you in the toes. I don't know. But Jesse canceled, unfortunately, so we're going to bypass the conspiracy here. But the controversy this week, Top Rope Collectibles and their PN News Galoob-style figure. A lot of outcry over there on social media as they did announce the price point, and that's always a tough one. Everybody's excited for figures no matter what they are. There's somebody excited for it. And then when the price point comes, put yourself in their shoes. There's people that are happy with it. There's people that say it should be way, way cheaper. And there's pretty much nobody that says this should be more expensive. So they came out with the original release of $52 for figures. And people about fell over, said this is way too much. And I understand what they're saying because this is a Galoob style figure. This is akin to the LJNs with less articulation. The Galoobs are solid figures. Basically a solid plastic statue. LJN's big, rubbery, but you got some flex in those. Obviously, the retro figures got multiple pieces to them. So I think a lot of people said, how are these $52 when big rubber guys are $54? And Zombie Sailor toys are $50 when it seems like there's more to them. Obviously, every company's dealing, I should say, with different budgets and price points and costs to go to markets and stuff. And let's be honest, Zombie Sailor been around a couple of years now. He's got a little momentum going for him. Big Rubber guys, Major Bendy's, they got a lot of momentum going for him. Top Rope Collectibles, nobody knows what these guys are. Nobody knows exactly what they're going to have in hand. They don't have the momentum behind them quite yet, but 52 seems very steep when you can get a Big Rubber guy for 54. You got your height differences right here, and you got a solid piece where you got at least a little bit of flex over here, and you got definitely some flex in the retro. So a lot of people up in arms about that price point of $52. They walked it back, took down the post, went back to the drawing board, and now it's coming back out at $40. So where was that extra 12? And I think it's tough because they did, I guess, to me, the right thing. They dropped their price point down. It's a lot more appetizing at a $40 price point. But then where was that $12? Was that just them trying to make more money off of each figure? Not exactly sure how that all netted out, but that's what a lot of people, you can't win at this point. Oh, they dropped the cost down. They had all that profit. They had all that play money that they were keeping for themselves. Well, it is a business. They're here to make money, and nobody should want to go into business to lose money or break even. A lot of people say, what's your break even? Nobody should say break even. You want to make money. You need to sell 10 more than your break even at minimum, is what I would say there. So we're not sure on their finances, but it definitely brought some controversy. But you know what Eric Bischoff says? Yes, controversy creates cash. Mark Summers took it the physical challenge. Got that. You've been paying attention, Mark. Controversy creates cash. So hopefully that's what happened to Top Rope Collectibles. They got their name out, maybe not in the best way, but a lot of people were talking, posting on social media stuff, drew awareness to PN News, and there's going to be 3 different PN Newses coming, as we do know. Got to get the most out of your molds, after all. So an interesting week for Top Rope Collectibles. I think they would say, hey, we wish we didn't post that originally, but at the end of the day, they got things talking, they got things moving, and then they got to a $40 price point. If Jesse Ventura was here, he'd say it was a conspiracy all along. They did that $52 to make people talk. Then they got it down to the real price of $40. That's a conspiracy, my friends. But Top Rope Collectibles, PN News, if you're after that, check them out on social media. FTC, another wrestling company, coming through with arena stairs this week. FTC does a pretty good job in a lot of their ancillary stuff. It's just the figures that are a little short from time to time. But I'm shocked in a little bit. If they like their figures so much, you think they would show their figures on these arena steps instead of the Mattel figures. But is what it is. But if you're looking for some arena stairs, not a bad idea. And I feel like FTC has hit a niche where they could really dive into and help a lot of figure collectors get what they want for arena setups, accessories, weapons, clothing, stuff like that. So if you're after that, check out Figures Toy Company, of course. Moving on to non-wrestling stuff, Super 7 this week coming hard with a little Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stuff. In a little plot twist here, though, Hasbro Pulse selling retro-style Mighty Morphin Power Rangers figures, of course, going back to the Bandai days, the original kind of packaging. In homage, oh, don't start. An homage, homage, you know what I mean, to the original Power Ranger stuff, but it will be sold on Hasbro Pulse. So that Super 7 Hasbro partnership going strong still, as we saw. We also saw a new Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, part of the Ultimate line, Lord Dracon. Of course, Tommy once again over there. So if you're after that one, that is up for pre-order. Usual pre-order windows for those, of course, with the Power Rangers. And one that we don't talk about, but I found very interesting this week, is they are coming out with another Notorious B.I.G. Oh, Biggie Smalls, running wild in high school back in the day, of course. Never a rap guy. If you guys saw my video this week, I unboxed the NWO Kurt Hennig, aka the West Texas Rednecks Kurt Hennig. And at the end of that video, we did a little sing-along. I graced you guys with my beautiful singing voice and sang, rap is crap for everybody. I'm not a rap guy. I don't hate it. I mean, I don't like it, but it's not like I'm crapping on it. I wouldn't go that far. You like what you like, you don't what you don't, but rap, definitely not for me. B.I.G., not for me. However, his action figure, very interesting here, as it is going to be in a clamshell case, a different packaging style for the Ultimates for Super 7, and it'll be interesting if we see that more in the future. Could it help keep costs down? Could it be savings? Could it be something like that? We're going to see in the future there, but definitely an interesting packaging style for the Notorious B.I.G., so something to keep our eyes on, of course. And another thing to keep our eyes on, how about the Masters of the Universe? Of course, Masters of the Universe Origins, September 25th, Mattel Creations, Demo Man is going up for sale. So mark your calendars, mark your clock, get your Demo Man figures over at Mattel Creations, September 25th. We also saw leaked, I don't know who leaked it, but it's out there. It looks like it's the Princess of Power, She-Ra, of course, 40th anniversary next year, and we got some of the packaging design for her. Very interesting. They didn't go more She-Ra heavy in the packaging design. I wonder if that speaks to maybe we're not going to get cartoon style She-Ra in her Princess of Power universe. We're not going to get Bo. We're not going to get all that kind of stuff, which to me, I'm honestly okay with that. I was never a She-Ra guy. Just really didn't do a whole lot for me. I got all the classics. I guess I'd dive in if they're going to put it in the cartoon scale, but I prefer them to stay to the world I want them to stay in. Don't get in that Princess of Power world. That's just me, though. That's my personal opinion. But we did see She-Ra in the package. We also saw some new Turtles of Grayskull, and it really feels like we're kind of on the last legs for this. I'm not sure exactly when these are going to come out, probably towards the end of the year. But we have heard in 2025 it's going to be a He-Man Thundercats crossover in a similar vein, and it will replace the Turtles of Grayskull. And it feels like Turtles of Grayskull may be winding up a little bit. We are getting a Ratlore, we are getting a Mechanic, but then we're getting Donnie and Raphael once again. So it really feels like they've ran out of steam a little bit. At least that's my opinion once again. But it looks like they're nearing the end of this. Maybe we'll have another wave or two after that. I guess we'll see what happens. Then it's going to be all about the Thundercats version. So be interested to see how that goes in the future. We also saw this week, I'm just zipping through. It's a Labor Day weekend. We got to go. We got to go to the beach, guys. Us three at the beach. We're going to put that sunscreen. It's going to be like UGG from Salute Your Shorts. That's what it's going to be like. All three of us. Oh, you know, Mark Summers knows exactly what I'm talking about. Nickelodeon's own Mark Summers, of course. We're off to the beach, but let's keep cooking through this news here. Mondo this week. Mondo wants every dollar out of our wallets. The most expensive toy line, it seems, that I collect, and it seems like they're hitting us left and right with something different every single day. I'm passing on this one, but it is a Mondo Batman Animated Series Poison Ivy. Would be a very fun line to collect. I actually broke down and bought Batman and Bane. I figured I wanted to display the old backbreaking and just have it at that. Wanted to have just those two together, and that's it. Calling it a day right there. But Poison Ivy is up now. So timed edition, you know the drill with Mondos. Mondo, very expensive. I'm in way too deep on some of these Mondo lines, and man, it hurts. It hurts. There's no doubt about it. Luckily for those shop app payments there, I feel a little bit better when it like takes 3 payments or 6 payments. It's still the same, but it just feels better about my life. I don't know. It's all about justification at the end of the day, I guess is what we'll say. And speaking about justification, maybe you need this to put you over the hump to order your Marvel subscription service. Of course, the digital where you can get all the comics, the backlog, all that kind of stuff. Because the figure this year is going to be a one-off exclusive. I'd really like this. I don't know if I want to buy the whole thing. I kind of want to. I just don't have time. What is time? I wish I had time to read comics. I don't have that. But Night Spider is the figure they're giving. Obviously, a Moon Knight Spider-Man crossover figure. Pretty cool. I gotta imagine a lot of Spider-Man fans of collectors of the figures are gonna want this. And of course, Moon Knight collectors as well. But that is the figure this year. Years past, it hasn't been as a new character. It's been kind of a lame repaint most of the time. This is something new, so I don't know. Maybe it'll get more people to sub up for the service. It makes me want to sub up for it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Night Spider coming in extra hot in 2025, I guess, is where it'll be. We keep on going. Now we move over to our friends over at NECA. NECA keep coming out with them Ben Cooper kids. Get those kids off my yard. It is the Halloween season. We saw these solicited in, what was that toy magazine? Toy Fair magazine? It's back with a vengeance. They did show those for the first time on the cover there. And it is some different Ben Cooper stuff. You do get Gremlins. You get Stripe and Gizmo from the Gremlins. That Stripe's a guaranteed must-buy for me. I got to dig it out, but I had this exact costume when I was like 3 years old. So I got to get this one to represent little Kyle trick-or-treating, of course. We got Gizmo, Beetlejuice, very timely, and then Alien. Beetlejuice and Alien don't do a lot for me, but I feel like I'm in so deep in these kids. You know me, I wear my red shoes. Oh, real ones know. I got to get all these kid figures. I'm just throwing the stereotypes out there is what I'm doing here, but dangerous game, dangerous game. If you guys saw weekly purchases last week, we did a little video, special video with my wife, and my dad joined us on the phone from the channel. It was a wild weekly purchases. If you missed that one, you better check out last week's for sure. But the Ben Cooper kids rolling on. A lot of Ben Cooper kids coming. We're going to have an army of Ben Cooper kids. It might be like the Children of the Corn before things are all said and done. We'll see what happens there. We also saw a new Evil Dead 2-pack. A little disappointing not coming out till the first of the year. This would be perfect to come out. Everybody wants Bruce Campbell figures. Keep the Bruce Campbell figures coming. Would have been great for Halloween. Just going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I love the Evil Dead. Love Bruce Campbell. You got to have that in your collection if you don't have Bruce Campbell in your collection. We also saw Todd from the couch. And Todd, can you confirm or deny that you were actually with me in my office? I had to go to my office, get some copies this week. And you actually filmed that Geek Out little spot in my office, which I thought was really cool. It just speaks to our friendship is what it does. But Todd came through with the Target Geek Out this week. Tons of animated series stuff if that is your game. Call of Duty Spawn things was the thing I was most interested in. But I can get your autograph anytime I want. I don't need any more of your autographs, Todd McFarlane. But you could get some autographed edition of the Spawn Call of Duty figures. I love Spawn. I'm going to pick these up. I don't play Call of Duty. Never touched a Call of Duty. But the figures look pretty cool. Loaded with weapons. Great to move over to your DC characters if that's your thing as well. So those are up for pre-order right now. Autograph ones at Target. Everywhere else, go wherever you need to. And then finally, the last bit of Todd McFarlane news that I even care about. I'm not covering all your stuff, Todd. I don't like it all. I just like some of it. And I like you the best, of course, Todd. But we got Batman Solomon Grundy 2-pack from Amazon. At first I said, pass. However, then I looked at Solomon Grundy. I'm like, I'm shocked they didn't get more reuse out of that Build-A-Figure. Well, here we go. I expect a patina version, Frostbite, Sketch Edition. What am I missing? Translucent plastic. They're probably missing about 10 other variants, but this one is pretty cool. It's like a translucent version with like a skeleton inside. So, Todd, you got me again. $40 price point for that deluxe figure plus a Batman as an accessory. Sign up for that one. I'm here for that, but it looks really, really good. So commend you, old Todd McFarlane on the couch, doing good things right there. But that is it for the toy news here. There was a lot going on this week. Of course, Labor Day week, a lot of people on vacation, myself included. Fingers crossed, I hope I can be off next week. Hopefully I'm not just on conference calls, emergency issues all week. That's usually what happens on my vacation. But next week, I'm hoping to get some stuff done. Taking my daughter, of course, to the Weezer concert. Got stuff to do around the house. I got to get some of this collection in order. I got to finish that one toy room. Maybe we'll do a special video of that one toy room. We'll see what happens there. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I got to put my nose to the grindstone like a young Todd McFarlane churning out Batman figures. I got to do that next week. So fingers crossed. Keep them for me. Oh, Todd's got his toes crossed. I appreciate that, Todd. If you can cross yours as well, I would appreciate that too. But now we got to get down to it. We got to get down to the album of the week. All right, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the album of the week. And of course, you guys tell me what album you're jamming out to this week. But this week, finally got around to listening to it. It is the brand new album from One Deep Purple. It is called Equals One. Standard Deep Purple, very late in the career fair, I would say. They do got a new guitarist. I already forgot his name. Took over for Steve Morse, of course. Gave him a little new energy, I guess you would say. Nothing here that's going to be Smoke on the Water Part 2. We're not getting any Highway Star. But for a band with a lead singer at 80 years old, Ian Gillan over there, one of the all-time greats, pretty cool to see what they're coming out with here. And you still got a lot of good members. Don Airey's been with them for a heck of a long time, replacing John Lord. Of course, Ian Pace on those drums still all these years later. Roger Glover involved. Still a pretty good amount of Deep Purple members. And I don't know if this is Deep Purple Mark 17 about at this point here. Deep Purple, probably not for everybody. And with a lot of these legacy bands, nobody checks out the albums. It's just, there's Deep Purple. They've moved on. They just want to hear the hits. And I understand it. I get it. Time is valuable. You don't want to dig into new stuff, especially late in the career Deep Purple. But it's worth a listen. Kind of reminding me at first vibes a little bit of the Perpendicular album, if you're familiar with that. Dropping some deep cuts in the Deep Purple stuff. But it was good enough to listen to once. I'll hit it up one more time, and that'll probably be it. And that's usually what happens with most albums in this day and age, where you don't sit with it, you don't listen to it 500 times over and over. I wish I had the time for that. I just don't anymore. But I'll give it another spin out there. But an enjoyable listen, a good way to spend an hour or so. Definitely worth listening if you're a fan of classic rock, Deep Purple. Ian Gillan and the boys, you never know. It could be their last album. They say it won't be, but it very well could be. You never know when you get to that age. Heck, I don't know by the end of today. Todd McFarlane could drop dead on the couch later. Who knows what could happen? It's a wild world, as we know. But Deep Purple is the album of the week. And that's it. That's the toy news. That's the album of the week. What excited you in the toy news? Anything fun you were excited for? Extra excited for? You got to get that stinger. I know that. I do as well. But let me know your thoughts on the toy news of the week. Check out the Patreon. Don't forget about all that. A lot going on over there every single day. And it's the best way to support this YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at PresidentTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Big sale. 20% off this weekend. So if you're going to grab a shirt, it's the time to do it. And like I said, get a Terry Funk shirt while you're there. Why wouldn't you? Look styling in a Terry Funk shirt. Shout out to my boy Terry, of course. Shout out to Dory doing death matches in Terry's honor. Shout out to him for that as well. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for another toy news of the week, you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the Labor Day weekend.